everyone, this is Rachel and I'm here with another process video. Now today I'm going to be working with this sketch, which is a sketch I made myself, and I'm also going to be working with my October Scraptastic kit, and I will be using these 3 photos. Now originally these were 4x6 photos that I cut down to slightly smaller than 3x4, and then I am mounting all 3 of them on this grayish cardstock to get them back up to 3x4 size that is in the sketch. I will be using this really bold arrow chevron piece. I don't quite know exactly what the design is, and that is from the Amy Tangerine Finders Keepers line, along with this geometrical pattern paper that was a Scraptastic exclusive from Caitlin Schaefer, and also this heart-shaped piece, which I actually don't remember. I think it's Amy Tangerine, but it could be a Scraptastic exclusive. I don't know. I've used it probably on 3 or 4 different layouts from this kit. I'm reaching the end at this point, and I honestly do not remember where it's from. Now in the sketch, you'll see there's 3 banners made from pattern paper, and I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to use some leftovers or if I wanted to use the blue paper from Amy Tangerine. And once I get started with this, I decided pretty quickly that I do want to use the blue paper from Amy Tangerine. So I'm just going ahead and I gutted the blue paper so I could use more of it on the layout, and then I cut down the black and white paper, and I also cut 1 row of hearts off just to make that a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to go ahead, and what I want to do is cut the banner paper so it's about 3 inches taller than that heart paper, and then I cut 3 2-inch strips to make the banners, and I'm trying to decide if I like it better on top of the heart paper, which is what the original sketch was, or because that paper is so bold, would I rather have more of the heart paper showing. While I'm ruminating on that, I'm going to go ahead and cut my pieces into banners, and I just try to wing it, and it turns out fine. I cut the first one, and then I fold it over to use it as a template, and then I use that first piece to cut the others because I do want them on the even side. Now when I did that, I hadn't planned on using the other side of that blue paper, which has brush script words. I'm not a huge fan of that. It's just something that's not for me. But when I turned it over, I actually really liked it. But I was still having the issue, do I want it on top or one on the bottom? And I actually ended up pausing doing the layout and waited for people to come home and was like, yeah, I'm just going to wait and see what they think. So while I was waiting, I decided to go ahead and ink up all of my papers with black soot distress ink. And now I'm going to go ahead and start to assemble the main photo cluster of my layout. Now, I wanted to get those 2 blue ones to be the same height, so I bring it down to where my mat ends, and so I can line those all up because I did want those to line up. And then I'm going to go ahead and get it put down on that heart paper. I really love that heart paper. I use that. I think I got about 9 layouts done for this kit, and this is going to be the last video for this kit before my Kill a Kit video, and I think I used that heart paper on 4 or 5 of the different layouts. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. So I go ahead and I get that all put down, and I'm very happy with the way it looks, except I did get a little bit of ink on that white paper, so I just trim out one of the rub-ons and I put it right over that, basically just to kind of put the black ink to soften it up a little bit. Now I grab my L Studio die cuts that came with the Scraptastic kit, and I'm just going through and seeing if anything will work, and I pull out quite a bit that does work. I have that Family Tradition, and then that blue polka dot banner, and the Happiness Found die cut, and I'm looking for a tag to go underneath that, and I do end up using that one with the pink top. I do cut off the bottom though, and I don't use that on this layout. Now I'm going to add a little bit of rub-on in those diamond shapes up on the tag. I just wanted not so much white space on there. And then I'm going to pull it out again. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I am going to pull it out again, but first I'm going to add some stars from Pretty Little Studio. These are really cute. I've never owned anything from Pretty Little Studio before. I know I've seen it mentioned before, and I thought they were cute. I think it was last Christmas. I think they had a very vintagey Christmas line out, and people, someone on a message board somewhere had posted it, so I'd gone to look at it, but I'd never owned anything by it. They're actually quite thick and really pretty. So now that I have all those down, I go to add that arrow, and it ripped in half. Half stayed on the backing sheet, and half was on where it's supposed to be, so I was very disappointed. I instead add a heart rub-on that's kind of like an outline of a heart. And then I'm going to add a sticker to it later. Basically just to not keep that super plain. So I add that die cut to the other die cut, and then I had too much glue, so I had to rub all that off. And then I'm putting it on top of that star, and I'm going to spend quite a bit of time. There's quite a bit of elements to this layout, so I spend quite a bit of time gluing stuff down. So I did try to cut a bunch of that out. And I cut out a bunch of my searching for some letters here. So I'm using, half of my title is going to be in this hardcover font from American Crafts. And that's going to be the words "this one." And then the other half is going to be using the L Studio letters in light pink that came with the kit. But of course I can't do anything orderly. So before I finish my title, I'm going to go through this Life Documented Snap sticker set from Simple Stories and add a couple of stickers. I add that typewriter over on the left hand side and the little heart down by my little die cut. Oh, sugar. Cluster. Couldn't think of the word cluster. Okay, so I'm thinking about adding that black die cut. That's from Scrapbooking exclusive. But before I do that, I need to add the rest of my title, which is "I want this one." So that is basically verbatim what my niece said when she and her mother went to this pumpkin patch. This is at Lyman Orchards in, I think it's Middlefield, Connecticut. And my best friend said she toddles right over to this pumpkin and tries to pick it up. Now the pumpkin is like half her size and probably weighs about more than half of what she weighed at the time. And she tiles over and tries to pick it up. She's almost knocks herself over, and then she finally just sits down and says, "I want this one, Mama." So, so they did get that pumpkin, of course, because, you know, she was super cute. Now I'm using the other Scraptastic label die cuts, and I've run out of the ones that have the dashed line, so I make my own using one of the word ones that I won't be using. And for some reason I decide to do half of it with my right hand, and it turned out about as well as when you try to paint your own nails with your non-dominant hand. So one half looks super cute and the other half looks okay. Anyways, I get the journaling down, and the last thing I'm going to do is add a few enamel dots. I don't have a lot left, so I just add one to each of the cluster areas. And now I'm going to show you some close-ups. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day, everyone. Flick me a thumbs up if you can. Bye!